Yeah.
I'll do it.
Be coming out of here or?
I just want to make sure this didn't get knocked around. You know, I noticed that we don't have a moderator.
This is Dale and Rusty.
I'll be hanging out back here for a second.
Blake.
S-H-I.
They're sleeping.
I sit here until it's like
And I'm not even unofficial.
No.
I'd like to bring the Wilmington City Council regular meeting, July 7th, 2022 to order. May we have roll call, please?
Jonathan McKay.
Here.
Michael Snar.
Here.
Bill Learman. Here. Bob Osborne.
Here.
Michael Albright. Nick Evelyn.
Here.
Matt Perky.
Here. We have one absent member. What is your pleasure?
Move to be excused.
Motion second by Learman. The absent member be excused. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The absent member is excused. Will you stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in a moment of silence.
The camera. No, he can. No, he see.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We have a big crowd. It's a pleasure to see everybody. Under the President's agenda tonight, we have the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections? I'll ask for a motion.
Move to be accepted as presented.
Second. Motion second to accept the agenda as presented. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is accepted. You also have before you the meeting minutes of the June 16th, 2022 meeting. What is your pleasure?
Need to make an adjustment. Looks like under roll call, it's inadvertently counted absent.
Sorry,
Since I get listed down through.
Yeah.
You were here.
All right.
Any other changes? Not an ask for a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Move to be accepted as amended.
Second.
Motion second to accept the amended meeting minutes. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting minutes are accepted. We also are to announce a public hearing for July 21st, 2022 for rezoning of 0.179 acres, more or less, owned by Wilmington Savings Bank, and more commonly known as 31 Columbus Street, TN, traditional neighborhood, to DT downtown transition. So that'll be July 21st. We also have a notice of legislative authority from the Ohio Division of Legal Transfer of Ownership from Bhakti, that's BHAKTI 1, LLC, 776 South South Street, Wilmington, to BUJ Inc., DBA Beverage Stock, 776 South South Street, Wilmington, Ohio. This will be on file in the office of the clerk. That was all I had. Mr. Mayor.
First thing, I would like to announce that we have 2 community fellows with us this evening. Councilman Star, would you like to introduce them?
Yes, we have Lily Williford and Sierra Bolander. If you don't know, the Clinton Community Fellows Program is an opportunity for young people to intern in the community and help out businesses and organizations. It's run by Taylor Stucker and Destin Rogers, and we have 4 this year. 2 couldn't make it tonight, so they'll be here next council meeting, but we have 2. I'm going to ask them to just introduce themselves and say name, school, major, and the project you're working on this summer.
Yeah, I'm Sierra Bolander. I'm in my 3rd year now at Wilmington. I'm majoring in AY education and English. My projects this semester, or this summer, I'm working with Art House Downtown, developing a couple ideas for some sponsorships and things like that for accessibility to young children in the community. I'm working with Main Street, Wilmington, and the Chamber on the Clinton County Photo Bank to make pictures more accessible for like social medias and other postings and marketing with that. And I'm also working with the Clinton County Workforce Collaborative and the Barriers to Work sector, trying to push out more, getting answers to the employment deficit in the county.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Williford. I will also be in my 3rd year at Wilmington. I am a criminal justice major with minors in psychology and political science. My projects are going to be, what I've been working on is mostly homelessness in Wilmington. I've been working a lot with Hope House, as well with Denise over at the shelter. We've spoken to Tom Albanese and all the work that he's done previously here. Just trying to get some ideas about what can help and working on an access point document. And then also working along with Sugar Tree to possibly figure out some other options to be able to help homelessness in Wilmington.
Welcome, ladies. If you didn't get a chance to read the obituaries today, the man named Darrell Pigeon, and it's an amazing story about our country. How you can grow up on Prairie Road on a small farm, work your way through college, become one of the top dairy men in the United States, if not the world. He just passed away recently. You get a chance, read his obituary. Quite a story. Brian and I stopped out at the cemetery the other day, and we caught the Alkermes employees in the act of cleaning up our cemetery, and I cannot thank them enough. They just went through there like a whirlwind, picking up everything that didn't belong. Pauline, you would have been proud. Let's see, I want to recognize our Utility Billing Department of Public Works Administration for conserving our taxpayers' dollars by reducing the amount of postage and paper needed to print utility bills. More than 1,100 customers, that's about 20%, have signed up for the paperless billing since fall, and this goes on auto pay. This is a perfect example of my focus to protect our taxpayers' dollars. Good job, folks. We really appreciate what you do there. Also, our own Travis Lucan, June 16th, there was a pond clinic at the Lucas Farm. The event was sponsored by the Caesars Creek Collaborative. Residents learned about pond construction, maintenance and water quality. The Wilmington Water Department was invited to discuss harmful algae blooms, water tests, and program manuals that are provided to participants. This pond clinic is important to teach our residents how to positively impact the water quality downstream. And of course, the county fair is coming up. And that's how Darrell Pigeon got his start, with 2 Guernsey calves when he was 10 years old. Let's see, I'm happy to see the economic growth in Wilmington. The growth includes the expanding robot surgery at Clinton Memorial, the expanding of the Polaris factory. If you haven't been by there, boy, that's impressive. The Wilmington Air Park is opening a special procedures aero engine hospital. And of course, the drive-in is getting rezoned for housing. The General Denver now has its all-season patio open, and the grand opening of the Old Town Tavern was held this month. And of course, Chipotle's is getting close. February the 8th, join the CBB for their summer concert series. That's tomorrow. Downtown Wilmington starting at 7:30. Noah Smith, a country western act, is the performer. Wednesday, July 13th, the Memorial's hosting the blood drive from 12 to 6. Go to donortime.com to make an appointment. And Friday, the 18th, the American Theater hosts a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. Go to murphytheater.org for more information. And now I have the pleasure of swearing in a new officer, Matthew Patrick. Matthew, would you like to come down front? And if you have one, he wants to join you.
Sir, Jim, good morning. You got this. Switch it. That's right.
And who do you have with you?
This is my wife, Sarah. This is my little shot. I'm sure you heard him during it. This is my son, Brantley. This is my daughter, Madeline. And this is my youngest son, Rhett.
All right, buddy, you want to stand here with Daddy? Okay. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Matthew Patrick,
I, Matthew Patrick,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the ordinances of the City of Wilmington, Ohio,
and the ordinances of the City of Wilmington, Ohio,
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties incumbent on me as a police officer
all duties incumbent upon me as a police officer
with the Police Department of the City of Wilmington
with the Police Department for the City of Wilmington
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
This I do as I shall answer unto God.
This I shall do as I shall answer under God.
Congratulations.
We'll sign this and you have two witnesses, so it can be your wife and this one.
Homer.
We don't say to the mayor.
Are you helping me?
Yes. Yes, I will.
And now I have the pleasure to introduce our new chief, Ron Pittman. Would you come up forward, please? Ron, your family will bring with you.
Kelly.
You're going to have to introduce her.
It's my wife Kelly. I've got my mom and dad in the front row, my youngest daughter Cameron, my brother Todd, his girlfriend Shannon.
Welcome, everybody. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ron Pittman,
I, Ron Pittman,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the ordinances of the City of Wilmington, Ohio,
and the ordinances of the City of Wilmington, Ohio,
that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all duties incumbent
discharge and perform all duties incumbent
upon me as chief
upon me as chief
with the police department for the city of Wilmington, Ohio,
with the Police Department of the City of Wilmington, Ohio,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
This I do as I shall answer unto God.
This I do as I oath unto God.
Congratulations. I have the pleasure of handing this on.
Mom and Dad.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Y'all are welcome to stay, but if there's nothing else that you need to do tonight here, I have a wish.
Thank you all.
That's right, I'll be there.
As they say in church, you're welcome to sit on the front row, but you can play in the back. All right, moving ahead. On for Vance.
Nothing this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you. Safety Service Director, Mr. Schottiger.
Just two very simple pieces of legislation tonight, Mr. President. First one being accepting a gift from Joseph Harden for the City of Wilmington Code Enforcement Department. As the mayor has alluded to and spoke to multiple times, doing a great job of cleaning up Wilmington and through the code enforcement, and we are fortunate enough to have received a donation amount of $500, and in order to accept that into our code enforcement department, we would be requesting council to approve resolution number 2227, please.
Someone like to move ahead with those readings, please?
Sure. Move to give resolution 2227 first reading by title only.
Motion is second, first reading resolution 2227. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. May we have the first reading, please?
A resolution
accepting a gift from Joseph Harden from the City of Wilmington Code Enforcement Department and declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend the rules and regulations and give resolution 2227 second and third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion second for suspension of the rules. May we have roll call, please?
McKay.
Yes.
Snar.
Yes.
Learman.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Albright. Evelyn.
Yes.
Perky.
Yes.
Motion carries. May we have second and third reading, please?
A resolution accepting a gift from Joseph Harden from the City of Wilmington Code Enforcement Department and declaring an emergency.
Move to pass resolution 2227 as read.
Second.
Motion second for passage. Roll call, please.
Snar.
Yes.
Learman.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Evelyn.
Yes.
Perky.
Yes.
McKay.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2227 passes.
And you will find later this evening under the supplemental appropriation for removing the $500 that we just received in donation to the Code Enforcement Incidental Fund. The second piece of legislation I have tonight is declaring surplus property. These are cemetery vehicles. It's a truck with a snowplow and it's a 1992 truck with a snowplow and a 2005 John Deere Gator that will be selling on govdeals.com. So, need to declare it surplus property. Any questions about that?
Do you know how many hours the Gator has on it?
Oh my gosh. Not off the top of my head.
It's fine.
I can get that for Jonathan. It's a lot.
I figured it was.
Okay, can we move this resolution forward, please?
Sure. I'll move to give resolution 2228 first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion second for first reading, resolution 2228. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First reading, please.
A resolution declaring surplus property to wit, cemetery vehicles and equipment valued at more than $1,000 and authorizing the sale of said property.
Move to suspend the rules and regulations and give resolution 2228 a second and third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion second for suspension of the rules. Roll call, please.
Learman.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Evelyn.
Yes.
Perky.
Yes.
McKay.
Yes.
Snar.
Yes.
Motion carries. May we have second and third reading, please?
A resolution declaring surplus property to wit, cemetery vehicles and equipment valued at more than $1,000 and authorizing the sale of said property.
Move to pass resolution 2228 as read.
Second.
Motion second for passage. Roll call, please.
Osborne.
Yes.
Evelyn.
Yes.
Perky.
Yes.
McKay.
Yes.
Snar.
Yes.
Learman.
Yes.
Resolution 2228 passes.
No additional legislation under my portion of the agenda tonight, Mr. President. I would note that under the city services portion of tonight's agenda, we do have a resolution dealing with the transit department. Jessica, our director, is not here this evening. She's from the Goshen area. Her property sustained a lot of damage last night due to the storms. So she, when we last time spoke to her, they don't still have power, a lot of damage to trees and stuff. Unfortunately, you know, the family and everyone are all safe, but she's not going to be able to see me. Have thoughts and prayers with her. And if there's any questions about that resolution or your portion tonight, Mr. Ewan, I'll be happy to answer those questions. Or anyone else. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Scheiger. Council Committee reports. City Revitalization Committee, Mr. McKay.
We have no official report tonight, Mr. President, but we do, and I'm going to keep this on for a little while. We do have an economic development, a lot of it going on in our community. And there's been meetings held that have dealt with various items. And also, there's just a lot of employment opportunity right now. And there's also a lot of building going on, as the esteemed mayor said a little while ago. And so we're going to keep this on for a little while. And there's going to be, I think, some very significant discussion down the road later on. But this is going to kind of be the start of it. And we're just going to see where it goes. But the air park is humming, as Beth will tell us. And there's some decisions that will probably need to be made later on. But for right now, that'll suffice for the discussion tonight and give you a little prelude to maybe what's going to come down the road. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Nice to have you with us, Ms. Hubert. City Services Committee, Mr. Eagle.
Mr. President, I'd like to, we've got two items for consideration this evening. First, I'd like to introduce Resolution 2229. That is a resolution that Brian referred to a few minutes ago. And what this is, there is a contract every year with, between the taxing department and Job and Family Services people. That contract deals with transporting people who are on Medicaid to various doctor's appointments in Wilmington and in many surrounding areas, sometimes as far away as the Veterans Center in Chillicothe and Cincinnati, Dayton, to one to Columbus one time, actually. The contract is up for renewal, and it was the considered opinion of administration that this contract, although it's been has previously been executed between the taxing department and Job and Family Services, it really should come directly from council approval for that contract. So in your packet that was distributed by Andrea, you should have received copies of that contract. There were several things that Brian was good enough to look into for me. And maybe, Brian, if I say any of these wrong, correct me. But the fare charge per trip is going from $4 to $5 per mile outside the city, from $2.25 to $3 per mile. Wait charges per hour. Sometimes when you take these people to the doctor's office, you have to sit there and wait right back. And we charge a wait charge. That's going from $24 an hour to $36 an hour. And if they have to wait in the pharmacy for a prescription, that wait time is going to $3 for every 5 minutes. There were several questions that I had with regard to the contract. It says that it refers to renewing the contract at the joint agreement of the parties. But my concern was that, with rising gas prices and everything, where are we going to be 2-4 years down the road when this contract? And Brian pointed out that the contract may be extended for 2 years, so it's permissive language, not a requirement. And the requirement that I saw in there that concerned me, as particularly as a contractor, former contractor, was a covenant that we would pay Davis-Bacon wages. For those of you who are not familiar, there's the Davis-Bacon Act that says that if you subscribe to this, you pay the prevailing wage of similar occupations throughout the industry. John and I probably are familiar with this as anybody, because when you take on certain jobs, you have to meet those requirements. So my concern was, do we meet those requirements? And the answer to that question is yes, we do. In fact, we're right just about there with Davis-Bacon, so it's not something that will come back to haunt us. I think that's about it, really, for the changes in the contract. Does anybody have any questions?
It's not necessarily legit to the contract, but we're at prevailing wage for the industry for our drivers right now.
Yes.
Okay. You want to articulate on this, or you want me to just kind of read you what?
Well, I know we had taken some steps to try to mitigate
Yeah, we
some of
have,
that, but
actually.
I was left on the impression that we still hadn't felt like they had gone far enough. And it's good to know that we're, at least where the rest of the industry is, we're a little above it. So.
The minimum wage for taxi drivers under the Act is $13.21 an hour. However, Federal Executive Order 14026, signed by the President, required that all wages be at least $15 an hour. The city is compliant with federal law requirements. In 2021, City Council increased the minimum wage for taxi drivers to $15.37. So, well, we're right there. And so we're in the right place, doing the right thing.
Do you have a sense of how many people use this service?
Oh, wow, I wish I could say.
It just seems so expensive. I can't.
Jessica would be able to answer that question for sure. I can get an answer.
We'll get that for you, but I can tell you that it represents a significant portion of that actually. It's in a while, huh?
Oh, yeah, the Job and Family Service pays.
Yes, that's what I was
Yeah,
asking.
it's not
They
the
would
end.
pay for that.
Okay.
No. no.
Yeah.
Yes and no, I mean, ultimately, we
Well,
do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Tax
let-
dollars,
let that
tax
come out of
dollars,
the city
yeah.
budget.
So have the county commissioners acted on this? I see them on the, is
Yes.
this taking effect, they've already acted?
we are the last ones to go on this, yes, that's correct. They have already approved it.
Questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I'd ask for first reading on resolution 2229 by title only, please.
Second.
Motion made and second by McKay, first reading resolution 2229. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? First reading, please.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Transit to enter into a purchase of service contract agreement between Clinton County Job and Family Services and Wilmington Transit Systems for non-emergency transportation services and declaring an emergency.
Move for a second, third reading by title only, please.
Second.
Motion second for suspension of the rules. May we have roll call, please?
Evelyn,
Yes?
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Motion passes. May we have second, third reading, please?
A resolution authorizing the Director of Transit to enter into a purchase of service contract agreement between Clinton County Job and Family Services and Wilmington Transit Systems for non-emergency transportation, AT, services and declaring an emergency.
I'll move for passage, please.
Second.
Motion second for passage. Roll call, please.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn.
Yes.
Resolution 2229 passes.
We, second item for consideration this evening, it seems like we're cleaning house here in the city these days. This is also allows us to dispose of surplus property. This is resolution 2230, and declare surplus property for the fire department. The fire department has a vehicle that I believe is a Bronco. The 44. No longer runs, no longer serviceable for the fire department. Typically, we can sell those things out, but the fire department had a pretty good plan for how to deal with them. Do you want to could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we actually are hoping to declare this surplus so that we can practice with some of our own tools on it and cut it up as a new vehicle. We usually talk to junkyards and get them to bring us vehicles to cut up. We never get a new, I don't want to say new vehicle, we never get a vehicle in good shape. So hopefully we can cut this one up, get some training out of it, and then send it off to a junkyard.
And I understand that we recently had a firefighter attend a school or a class on extrication and so forth. Maybe you can use that to allow him to share his training with the other firefighters.
Yeah.
So I think it's worthwhile. That's what they would intend to do. Questions?
Mr. President, if I may be acknowledged, your comment about us cleaning house and getting rid of so many things, Sam Miller in Brian's office has done a phenomenal job at kind of streamlining things and helping the departments make it easier for them to process. That website, GovDeals, it's just administrative burden, and it wasn't fun to do, and Sam has really helped out with that. So I think that, to your comment, yes, we are getting rid of a lot of stuff that's probably backlogged that needed to get rid of, and Sam is doing a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah, thank you. Other comments, questions? Seeing none, I'd ask for first reading of the resolution by title only, please.
Second.
Motion second by Osborne, by Learman. First reading, resolution 2230. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? First reading, please.
A resolution declaring surplus property to a fire department vehicle valued at more than $1,000 and authorizing the sale of said property.
Move for a second, third reading by title only, please, suspending the rules.
Second.
Motion second by Learman as well, for the suspension of rules. May we have roll call, please?
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes?
Perky.
Yes.
Seeing all in
A resolution declaring surplus property to wit fire department vehicle valued at more than $1,000 and authorizing the sale of said property.
Move for passage.
Second.
Motion second for passage, resolution 2230, roll call please.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2230 passes. Is that all you have, Mr.
I believe it is. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. We now have the Finance Committee. Mr. Albright is not here. Who's going to handle his duties tonight?
I will fill in.
Thank you.
So we
Councilman
have
Snar.
2 ordinances, 3 readings for both. First one, ordinance 2230. We've got some supplemental appropriations. First, excess funds from the cemetery fund to grounds maintenance, and then excess funds in the general fund to code enforcement incidentals. Auditor Vance, do you want to elaborate on anything, or if anything needs it?
I don't think so.
Looks pretty
Anybody has any
straightforward.
questions?
Cut and dry.
The cemetery, that's an insurance claim, just so, that's money that came from the insurance company, I'm not taking it just directly from the cemetery fund. That was money coming in, it's going back out.
Okay, if no questions, I move to give the first reading only on ordinance 2230 by title only.
Second.
Motion by Snar, second by Osborne. For the first reading, ordinance 2230, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? First reading, please.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations.
All right, I move to suspend the rules and regulations and give ordinance 2230 second, third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion and second for suspension of rules. Roll call, please.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
and Snar.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries. May we have second, third reading, please?
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations.
I move for passage of ordinance 2230.
Second.
Motion and second for passage. Roll call, please.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
and Learman.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion 2230 carries.
All right, our second ordinance 2231. We've got miscellaneous transfers from K-9 program to vehicle fuel for the police, which is understandable. Squad vehicle fuel to squad vehicle maintenance, fire capital equipment to fire vehicle fuel, fire capital equipment to fire facility maintenance, and Sugar Tree Street project to administration program incidentals.
I asked Chief Mason to be here to answer any questions you might have with the transfers. Do you want me to speak to it, or would you like to speak to it?
No, I can speak to it. It looks goofy because currently I only have paid vehicle fuel out of the squad side of the budget. There's not enough there to get to the end of the year. I'm gonna take that, fix an ambulance that is broken. This is why I'm moving into vehicle maintenance. And then take out of the fire capital that I have on the fire side, create a fuel line on that side, and hopefully put enough money in there to make it through the end of the year. That's what that's about. The other $10,000 is to replace the front and rear walk-in doors at the fire station.
How many doors do you,
I'm sorry?
how many doors are there?
There's just 2 walk-in doors. We just replaced the 4 overhead doors a year or 2 ago, but we have the walk-in doors at the front and back of the station now. That you can just about see through. They're steel doors where the steel meets the brick, you can just about see through them, so. And they're not cheap to replace.
For no other questions, I move to give the first reading only of ordinance 2231 by title only.
Second.
Motion second by Osborne. First reading ordinance
suspend the rules and regulations and give the ordinance 2231 second, third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion second for suspension of the rules. Roll call, please.
Evelyn,
Yes?
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
May we have second, third reading?
An ordinance making miscellaneous transfers.
I move for passage of ordinance 2231.
Second.
Motion second for passage. Roll call, please.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
and Evelyn.
Yes.
Ordinance 2231 passes.
Nothing else, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Starr. Judiciary Committee, Mr. Cookie.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. If you recall from our last meeting, we had a discussion about some property over on the west side of town, a rezoning request at West Main Street. So our first piece of actionable item tonight is ordinance 2229, asking for the second and third reading on this unless there's any public input or anything that would cause us to think that it's not a good idea to post. So kind of a brief overview was that property. It's about 5 1/3 acres over at 1600 West Main, at the corner of West Main and Park Drive. The property is currently zoned as light industrial, but the request is to change it to suburban commercial. All of the property adjacent to this property are suburban commercial, so it seems like a pretty easy request. So we did have a public hearing about it, and we have had prior discussion, so I'll open the floor briefly, ask if there are any questions or anything we can clarify. Okay, well, seeing no questions or discussion, I'll move to suspend the rules and regulations and give ordinance 2229 a second and third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Perky, second by McKay for suspension of the rules. May we have roll call, please?
McKay,
Yes.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky.
Yes.
Motion carries. May we have second, third reading?
An ordinance changing the zoning of real property located on West Main Street and Park Drive in the city of Wilmington, Ohio.
Move to pass ordinance 2229 as read.
Second.
Motion and second for passage. Roll call, please.
Snar,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2229 passes.
All right, thank you, everyone. The next item on my agenda deals with the change in gas providers for the city. So it's 3 readings because we're in an emergency situation. So resolution 2231, in March, our current company was, and if anybody wants to help me go through the Volunteer Energy Services Incorporated was our gas provider, and they went bankrupt. So I believe this is the company we decided to go with. I've already heard people ask, citizens asking questions about the bill and how this is going to change. So, Brian, are you able to speak to this? Greg?
Yeah, so, the, search for, and I invited, Buckeye Energy, who is a broker for the natural gas, if you have any questions that are above my head, 'cause I don't know about natural gas either.
Thank you.
I've been working with them to secure, a rate going forward since the previous, vendor went bankrupt. It's been difficult, obviously, because, the price of gasoline for your car. That's okay. It's a similar volatile market, so it's been difficult to pin something down, and I know people are very anxious, and winter is coming, and they're gonna want, a secured fixed rate for that period of time. I get it. But I don't wanna lock us in, because we're locking in for a series of months, several months, 2 years typically. And I don't wanna lock us in at a high rate. So we've been trying to work on finding something that is reasonable. And with that, I'll turn it over to you if you have anything to add, Art.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for a moment of time. So Art Dagger, Buckeye Energy Brokers. The city has been working with my partner, President Tom Bellish, since
as you mentioned, the unfortunate bankruptcy. But Volunteer Energy would have taken the city into 2024 with an opportunity. So this footprint here, formerly Vectren Energy of Ohio, has always been difficult to find savings here. So we just recently had received an offer, terms only, from IGS Energy in Dublin. And what they're willing to do, it's a 2-year offer, as previously mentioned with it. And it would start out as a variable rate, which would be like a hybrid. It would be NYMEX plus a fixed adder. And then after that, that would be short term. Then after that, they have given us the option to fix it. So I've been doing this nearly 20 years, and I've never seen that option to fix it. The city, I went back and took a look at all the opt-out letters from the city. We've done 6 terms here. The majority of them were fixed. One was a NYMEX Plus program, the very first one. So this is the hybrid where it's giving us the best of both worlds. We do not have to take the fixed option. It's just offered to us. It's very unique with a company that's local as well. So we're asking tonight to approve the ordinance for their master service agreement. We would then immediately, because the market's so volatile, literally it was $5.50 yesterday, $6.50 today. And I've been staring at it where it's been $9 and $10. So we have a pullback, we have an opportunity right now. So about a year ago, I was looking at $3.50. These are pretty challenging times. So if we can at least get this portion done and locked in, we can then, when there's immediate pullback, we can take advantage of pricing right now. We've never had to do that. And we started in the business in 2000. So these are rather challenging times, and we need to switch our strategy a little bit. So I ask council's approval on this master service agreement to take advantage of an opportunity that I would like to say is going to last a long time. I don't know. We have suppliers that we get pricing with, and they're pulling the pricing the same day. It's getting very difficult. We will not put the city in a position that's not advantageous. We won't do that. We've not done that since 2014. So that's where we're at with that. We would like to do a mailing as quickly as August, so we can catch that winter months, and then go into a 24-month term. If there's any questions, I did print off some frequently asked questions. If that's helpful, I can pass them out. Kind of gives an overview of everything.
Sure.
If I may. Any questions? I know this is generally not at the top of mind, if you will.
Well, no, but it's important.
It is, because we field a phone call, and we know there's an issue for residents. This will also, the offer also is provided to businesses too, within the town, so they can also take advantage of it. There'll be no early termination fee with this. You can get out of it without any problems. It just provides a
I have a question.
Certainly.
Not to put you on the spot already.
That's okay, I get it all the time. Go ahead.
When our good friends at the News Journal published excellent, they talked about this. First question to us is, because council people, what's my rate gonna do then next year? Without putting you on the spot, without getting a hold of anything, you're much more in tune to all this stuff than we are.
Sure.
Can you look into your crystal ball and tell us what, maybe what percentage you might guess that the gas rates will go up for the average heating season next year?
So we have no idea how much it's going to go up. What happens is there's an annual auction for the standard choice offer for CenterPoint Energy of Ohio, as there is all the other utilities as well. So that's generally, we generally get that about January, where we know that number for the following year. So you only have an idea of pricing for that 1 year term. We don't know any further. Now that being said, just taking a look at what we've been seeing here in the market, I think at least until maybe 2025, we might see a little bit of a pullback right now. Now in the spot market, there's the spot market and the split market. Split goes out a lot further. Spot is what we're looking at today with it. So that's why when we see an opportunity in the market, we see a pullback, and it's generally very short. So today, for example, every Thursday, the storage report comes out of natural gas. A lot of times that spikes. And when it spikes up, we see a new resistance level, or supports down here. It's very much, it's the same as the stock market, it's just not equities. So we literally monitor that all day long. We take a look for an opportunity, so we know right away. IGS is nice because we can do a quick turnaround with it. We can't do that with all suppliers. Constellation Energy is another one that gives it that opportunity. But needless to say, IGS stepped up with this program it's pretty unique.
Do we have the ability to change to a fixed at our choosing?
You do. So kind of our game plan, our strategy with that is we come in with a NYMEX Plus program right away. If we get a pullback on that, it's just a phone call. Locks it in. It's pretty unique. So to your point, we are getting calls that are coming in. But in all fairness, we're getting calls from everybody who was with volunteer. When are we gonna have an opportunity? Those kind of things. So it's good and it's bad. Yeah, the city had a good program. It's unfortunate. Things happen that we can't control. But there is enough interest from the residents that they're calling and saying, "Hey, do you know when we might have something?" So. The opportunities there, needs to say. But that did not answer your question. And I don't want to get all political on you. I just don't have that answer.
If we have an early season, if November turns out cold, we know the rates for November and December, right? So we know through the remainder of the year.
Right, we do. And the nice thing with governmental aggregation is it doesn't lock anybody in. If they want to get out of the program, it's not a problem. Nobody tries to upsell them into anything else. We don't want anybody in the program who's not happy. Plus, that program extends to small business. So what's different with that is when a small business does a commercial agreement, they generally have liquidating damages in a normal commercial agreement. With governmental aggregation, you don't have that. They can get out without that. So it's nice. I've started aggregations purely because the community liked it for the businesses. So everybody gets an opportunity. That's what it is to take advantage. So I hope that helps.
I don't think it's going to be significant down to the market though, because for the market to go down significantly, we're going to see increased production. And the frackers have caught on. They can make more money.
Yeah, so to that point, like I said, maybe 2 weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I'm looking at $9 and I see this thing going towards 10. Never seen that in my career. I'm like, this is literally this is a hand with it. So then right away, we started to get a pullback right away. No rhyme or reason, just get a pullback. Everybody's selling off, maybe institutional guys, I don't know. With it, and it drops. Drops to $6. Last week it was 5.5 cents. No. Now we're at $6.50 today. So we're looking for that happy medium. It's going in the right direction. So we just need to take advantage of that.
Going back to 3.
Those days. Yeah.
And so Mayor, with that in mind, I think when the citizens ask us that, we better say, we don't know, but you might want to plug a little extra money in your budget for this winter.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to cost.
And if they have any questions, they can call me. I take questions from residents all the time. And glad to, because we have the time, to spend with them. And we would like to say we're the best opportunity all the time, but that's not true. And it's not fair. But they do have other opportunities on the PUCO, Apples to Apples, which is Energy Choice Ohio website. But they do look forward to a city program. Never seen that. Any other questions?
So the process is you want to send a letter out to the citizens of Wilmington in August. That would convert to IGS on their bill in September, and IGS, if they're on the aggregation, IGS is their provider as long as they stay there, correct?
Yeah, they'll be automatically switched into the program unless they opt out. So we have to give them 30 days notice, which is why we need to do an emergency so they have enough time to prepare the letters. So we get the letters out by the 1st. They have the 30 days and it goes into effect the 1st of the following month, and they have to opt out.
That's right. So the PUCO rules are 45 days before the mailing, plus an additional 10 for docketing. Crunch the timeline, but. So
It's
that's
October, not September.
So that's not, yeah, it's October flow, November bill.
So in the
But October.
meantime, everybody in Wilmington that was on the aggregation is on the SCO price,
Correct, unless they switch to a third-party supplier on their own.
unless they made this.
Correct. So we would pick up everybody. We went back to CenterPoint, and those folks, if they would like to opt in, the other folks that are with the supplier, they can opt into the program. They just need to make sure they don't have an early termination fee. We always want to do that. Generally in gas, we do see it. It's kind of rare. It's more prevalent in electric than natural gas. But still, they need to take a look at the contract, call their current supplier, and then they can take advantage of the city's program.
Any other questions? Art, thank you.
Thank you.
Very helpful. We appreciate the service you all provide for us. And it is, I know a lot of people are really, they're seeing their cooling bills right now, and they're starting to worry about the winter. So I appreciate you coming here and getting this started. So Greg, thank you as well.
Thank you. Yep.
If there are no other questions, this is an emergency tonight, so we'll be asking for 3 readings. So I'll go ahead and move to give Resolution 2231 first reading by title only.
Motion by Burke, second by Evelyn. First reading resolution 2231. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Wilmington to execute a master agreement with Interstate Gas Supply, Inc. and declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend the rules and regulations and give Resolution 2231 second and third reading by title only.
Second.
Motion second by Evelyn, second, third reading, resolution 2231. Roll call, please.
Learman,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Yes.
Perky,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Snar.
Yes.
Motion carries. Second, third reading, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Wilmington to execute a master agreement with Interstate Gas Supply, Inc. and declaring an emergency.
Move to pass the resolution as read.
Second.
Motion second for passage. Roll call, please.
Osborne,
Yes.
Evelyn,
Evelyn?
Yes.
Perky?
Yes.
Kay?
Yes.
Snar?
Yes.
Learman?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2231 passes.
Thank you. I do appreciate this. I think it would behoove us to keep this handy in case people have questions. Maybe it's something we can add to the website. I don't know if it's something we can post up there too. Because there will be questions as people start getting the mailers, so I think that'd be a great thing. All right, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Perky. Public Works Enterprise, Mr. Snar.
No legislation tonight.
Thank you, sir. Under reports of the council, you have the income tax report for June. What is your pleasure?
Move to be accepted as presented.
Second. Motion second to accept the income tax for June 2022. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Report is accepted. Now move into the area of council that's open to the public. Anyone liking to address council, please come forward. Make your name and address and comments as brief as possible. Any takers? Seeing none, we are going to be moving into executive session. And those of you who are supposed to be here, you are, I think.
Yeah, there's two separate items, so.
Yeah, there are. Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
If you want to
that's
explain.
fine. I don't know who's staying for this side, but,
Right, yes.
Who will stand for that?
You got it. Yeah.
will you have action?
Will
No,
there be any action?
no action.
So no action on either
No
item?
action, two separate items.
Right.
And,
Council, Judy, Madam Auditor.
For the PFAS, do you?
No, she's able to stay, we don't need her to stay.
Everyone else, goodbye.
we got that straightened out. May we have the motion to move into executive session for this year?
Pursuant to section 121.22, section G, item 3, move to enter executive session for conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that is the subject of pending or imminent court action.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion by Perky, second by Learman to move into executive session. May we have roll call, please?
Evelyn?
Yes.
Perky?
Yes.
Kay?
Yes.
Snar?
Yes.
Learman?
Yes.
Osborne?
Yes.
Seeing all in favor, we are now in executive session with those of you who are not invited to
Thank you.
these.
Thanks for coming.
Pleasure.